Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and After the Thought podcast with your host, your truly, as always, Krazy K. Now, this is going to be a triple threat episode of podcast over the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and this past week. All the Raws and SmackDowns. I even uploaded the Raw and SmackDown predictions, commentary result, WWE Live updates, everything you need to know, want to know, and more. As we just passed our last Monday Night Raw, we are just a few days away from this year's Survivor Series War Games, Raw versus SmackDown. Now we got Raw and SmackDown at War Games instead of the blue brand versus the red brand like we used to have at Survivor Series, which is really fun getting involved in that, being competitive as far as is you guys saying with the Monday Night Raw better than the Fast on SmackDown better, and now we get to involve Raw and SmackDown together. Just individuals that have issues through Raw and SmackDown storylines or matches or competitor opportunities for each individual match that you watch. And now it is officially War Games. Anything can happen. No disqualifications, no countouts, only pinfall or submission in the middle of the ring for that team to pick up victorious. And we have our team settled as far as it goes. With, of course, at this last week, we had an individual get out of the proportion for the men's side, and then the men's side was covered, and now we have a woman out, and we think we have the fifth member for the women's team. So it all started with the bloodline. We've had, got the original bloodline. Big Bryson Reed decided to join Solo and Tonga and Tanga. And now we got Jay Gunn and Bryson Reed, who decided to attack Seth Rollins, who pretty guy's revenge. Won him after Big Bryson Reed, that crowd jewel, who was still a little raw about it, decided to use the bloodline to help him against the match against Seth. And now we're on a 5-on-4 where the Usos combined together. The greatest tag team we've ever had in WWE history, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree. And also carrying Raw and SmackDown on their back for over now 14 years. They've been in their WWE tag team. And then Jey Uso being a former individual Intercontinental Champion, him and his brother reuniting together as the Usos. But we all agree, the team that's lasted, that whether they broke up, whether they, when they fought each other at WrestleMania, and whether it was Jey Uso on Raw or Jimmy Uso on SmackDown, whichever team he's going for, the Yee or no Yee, or, handling the differences between their family and the bloodline between each other. At the end of the day, they're brothers, the blood come together at the end of the day, and no one can stop them. Nobody can get involved in that, even though people have tried to do that, and now we get to see the Usos on the same page, finally getting it together, get that yeet out glove, and we finally get to see Jimmy and Jey Uso yeet together as a tag team, as we all knew. Yeet. As we all knew that would happen. And now that's come together, and we got them just in time for the match. For now, this is where all of whatever heat, whatever competition, whatever's on your mind, is time to get it out. There's no disqualifications or anything goes. You can beat the hell out of each other up and down the two rings, weapons and your teams involved at War Games. And of course, it is towards the end of the year. We'll see the best of Raw and SmackDown before we head into New Year's. And next thing we know, we'll be in February in Indianapolis for the Royal Rumble. I am officially going to say, with Monday Night Mommy being back on Monday Night Raw, like I said, she'd be back just in time for a Survivor Series that everyone was doubting and not understanding. No one and nothing can stop Mommy down. No one can keep Rhea Ripley down. She's a former North American champion, NXT champion, Raw, SmackDown champion, World Women's champion, Tag Team Women's champion, Royal Rumble winner. The only thing that she needs to do now, she's carried the Judgment Day dominating group on her back, and now she's leading into War Games as the leader of the women's team, which brings me to what I was talking about with the Usos and Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn having the original bloodline back together versus the bloodline, which would allow CM Punk Pop joined, so now we got a 5-on-5 for the men's. Of course, I'm going for the original Bloodline, versus the Bloodline at Survivor Series War Games to handle their differences and also to get revenge what happened at Crown Jewel. As far as Monday Night Mommy, Rhea Bloody Ripley, nothing can stop her. Not you trying to take out her arm, even though she already took her arm off when she warned you. Not Liv trying to take out her leg and she beat her one leg and one crutch and all. Not the constant attacks. And then you brought Raquel and Dominic and she hanged Dominic upside down, like beat him like a pinata at Bad Blood and destroyed the whole Judgment team with Damian Priest getting their revenge at Bash in Berlin for them cheating their match at SummerSlam, and then they got revenge through Raw and SmackDown. We've seen her on SmackDown twice now. Not only even up the odds for them having an attack on Rhea's team, but also as they take Rhea out, Rhea gets her revenge, returns on Raw. Now they took in another member, Jade Cargill, as will be out of the match as far as SmackDown went, but her evening up the odds with, now we got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Naomi taking them out on SmackDown to make up for them attacking Jade Cargill. Even up the odds, Raw, they kind of relaxed a little bit because they thought that they had the 5-on-4 situation. And now we got Bayley proving to Bianca Belair, helping her win against Nia to get a little justice what happened to Jade Cargill. And then also, on top of that, to prove that she is loyal to her pacifically. I think that was really smart of Bayley to show that she pacifically has Bianca's back, and that's without the rest of the team, because that was just playing her and Bianca Belair and Bayley in one-on-one. That was just them one-on-one situation, and now the EST Bianca Belair has seen that she can accept Bayley as a part of the team, as she helped her win that match against Nia Jax for what she did to Jade Cargill, assuming that it was her. We'll find out more details. I heard rumors about more storylines and heel turns, but we'll talk about that another time. But with that being said, now Bianca Belair can trust Bayley, who helped her win that match against Nia. You got justice for Jade Cargill. You guys got a 5-on-5. It is even now for Mommy to get her hands on Liv Morgan and show with or without a championship belt that Mommy is always on top, getting her hands on Liv Morgan. And you also have Bianca Belair. What better than have Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley on the same team? As well, bring some NXT back to War Games, which is where it's from. War Games from NXT, we all seen it on. So help her out against Raquel, who attacked Rhea in the NXT parking lot, and also just get revenge what happened before Crown Jewel at Bad Blood. And then that would even up the odds, but you can now trust Bayley to join the team along with Naomi, who's the number one contender, Io Sky for the Women's Championship belt. Naomi, who I think should be the first ever United States Women's Champion in history. Women still creating history and getting equal amount of work paid off in equality to the men's division. That's what I meant by women's wrestling respect button. Those of you who want to be hypocritical and try to be critical about what I said, I stand that. I stand by that. I'm not sorry for that. I mean that. Women's wrestling respect button, and that's what I meant on Insta. Those of you who don't agree, that's on you. That women are still making history, knocking down barriers, still having to crawl and climb up the walls, and still having to fight their way to the top. And women have been making history for years now, since 2015 now. I would say it was around that time. That was the time when Stephanie McMahon would bring in the Women's Revolutions team. We had Team Bad, we had the Bella Twins, we had PCB, and not only bring Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Charlotte, the dominated horsewomen that built NXT on their back, to bring the women that we love that are together in the Survivor Series War Games match, like Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, into the Survivor Series match, who I'm going for to win and even up the odds and things off their chest now. And now that that's coming to a conclusion, I think we got our teams now for the women and men's division. With that being said, we gotten to see that happen because of those women, because of those ladies. And, last time I checked, Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch was working together. Well, they couldn't trust each other last year, and they won at that Sebastian match, it was big time Bex time and EXT time, and they worked together and they got the job done. So I think she can trust Bailey, that she'll have her back, that's the old Bailey, everything's settled down. And of course, if she messes up, you do have three other ladies like Naomi who's have your back on SmackDown. Rhea, nobody wants to cross Rhea. And Candice LeRae, as far as her going team, I think her and Io Sky with the high flying class athleticism that she has can pretty much take her out. I think Naomi will do well. I think she should be the first ever United States Women's Champion. She's been working hard too on SmackDown. That's my opinion, my thoughts. If I were to choose one woman, I would definitely choose Naomi. We got Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, our tag team women's champions. But now with Jade Cargill being out, maybe Naomi will have to win the tag team titles with Bianca to hold them down until Jade comes back, so that way she's not stripped of it without having a tag team partner. So I think maybe that'll happen. And then that leaves the open door, well, when Jade does come back, though, to get her title back with Bianca Belair, where's Naomi stand? I think her doing equal amount of work, winning singles actions, helping y'all on team. She's been here for 14 years, two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, unique ways to stay in Royal Rumble despite she hasn't won one. She's been a high-fly matches. She's been a classic for 14 years, tag team women's champion at WrestleMania. I think Naomi should definitely be the first ever United States Women's Champion in WWE history, and that would only bring the women up. You talk about when Stephanie started the Women's Revolution that I was talking about in 2015, where Bianca and Rhea came from NXT, who are the new women of this generation now, changing the game where it had to be an all-women's revolution pay-per-view just for that specifically because people wanted more women matches. And now we got women matches this week. We got men matches, no stupid panty and brawl match, no stupid pillow fight. We got extreme matches like Hell in a Cell. We got war games with the women in there. And we got equal amount of storylines and entrance and matches. It's not cut off, and we get to see more of that in tag teams. So Triple H has done a well job of acknowledging the women in the women's division, just like the men, giving them their matches, not, trying to cut them off, giving them the equal amount of time on magazines and video games. We've seen Bianca and Rhea Ripley get to be on the cover of a video game, just like the men selling their merchandise that people want to buy, just like the men getting matches that get people fired up and not playing with a beach ball in the audience anymore, just like the men. And now we got a War Games coming up where all cards are on the table. Everything's on the line. Just like the men. And now they're getting the equal amount of respect that they deserve. And now officialize new United States Women's Champion. We got men and women fighting for our countries, putting their bodies on the line for our country, for us to sleep on a pillow. So why not be like, hey, why can't a woman hold that title just like the men, right? Makes the United States Women's Champion. I think Naomi has fought hard on the SmackDown. I think she's improved herself since she's came back. She's a former, not to mention, not only a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, Tag Team Women's Champion, and been here for 14 years on Total Divas. She was on all the Women's Revolution. She was a part of that with PCB. She was a part of that with the Bella Twins, beating them on singles actions, tag team action when she heel turned. And she was a part of that with being on part of Team Bad with her and Tamina, and Sasha Banks now is known as our, if you watch AEW, which we're pretty sure we ought to do, our CEO champ over there. I think that she's earned her way and that she's crawled her way to the path, and since she's came back, no other than Naomi should be our first ever United States Women's Champion in WWE history. I think she earned that and she deserved that. And I think that would really hold it down. With her holding it down with Bianca Belair, like I said, she's going to be the person. Maybe I've had a feeling that maybe it'd be Bailey, that we would see something that we normally wouldn't see. Bailey and Naomi, or Bailey and Bianca Belair on the same team, that maybe she would hold down the championship belts with her, but it all depends on how this tournament goes. Because now we got on the SmackDown, I think Naomi should be United States Women's Champion. build that for her, and is an individual, been here and knows exactly what she's doing. She's been that person that's been overlooked and overshadowed. She does the equal amount of talent, but not many people look at her that way. She helps out the team constantly, but doesn't have any awards to show for it. So I think Naomi should definitely be our first ever United States Women's Champion in history on the SmackDown brand. It is glow time. So I think that would be perfect for Naomi on the SmackDown brand. And then maybe we'd see, like I said, we'd see Bayley and Bianca Belair hold the tag team championship belts, constantly putting them on the line, so that way she don't get stripped of it for not having a tag team with her until Jade gets back to hold her title with her. I think that we would definitely see those two, Bianca Belair and Bayley. They're going to be a tag team. Not only does she gain her trust by helping Naomi in the match on Raw to show that she has your back, specifically left you a message, but helps you out win at War Games, despite, and even Bianca was like, all right, you got my back, no more arguing, no more of the shenanigans, you help her at War Games. I think that no other than Bayley and Naomi, now it'd be Bayley and Bianca, something that we wouldn't normally see. I mean, we never would have thought we'd seen Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on the same team, but we did. We never thought we'd see CM Punk join in Roman Reigns for the original Bloodline versus the Bloodline at Survivor Series, but we're going to see that. And, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes was successful helping each other out on the team. Helping each other out constantly through Raw, through SmackDown, having each other's back, something that we never seen, and they were successful at it. We never thought we'd see Bianca and Becky, who hated each other, always colliding, always at each other's throat, but they combined and they won that match last year, being on the same team. So who's to say that Bayley and Bianca can't put their differences aside and win for our Women's Survivor Series team this year? And then that would prove Bayley and Bianca to defend the titles together until Jade gets back, because we don't know when she's going to be back after her injury, to get some revenge, whoever it is that did it. I think that will spice up the heel turn we all been talking about between those two, to continue it towards either WrestleMania or SummerSlam. After Rhea's done at this match, I think that then she can win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to go ahead and say Rhea Ripley to win this year's Royal Rumble to get her championship bout against Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. And I think that Big Time Bex is going to return. We know she's going to return. We just don't know when, right? So I heard a little butterfly bugging right here. She will return, which we knew that. We figured that much. But when she returns, I think that she is going to be a big part, because all those retirement speech and then Dominic with his shenanigan for her championship belt, I think that Big Time Bex would help out Rhea Ripley more as that team I was talking about, that usually we see, like I was just talking about with Bianca and Bayley, usually we'd see them at each other's throat, right? But we're going to see Bianca and Bayley work together at Survivor Series, and maybe they'll help each other out on SmackDown, hold the tag team titles together until Jay gets back, and then Naomi could be our United States Women's Champion, hold that down. Give a spark for her career and something we didn't see, but it works. Maybe that would combine Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, something that, we seen Rhea beat her in a 9-title match, we've seen her beat her in a title match, and we've seen Rhea get the best of Becky. But doesn't mean she doesn't have any respect for Becky. And of course, with this babyface, since Rhea Ripley has come back, maybe Rhea Ripley and Becky, they'll help each other out against Liv Morgan and Raquel, because Becky wants her revenge because Dominic screwed her at the championship belt. Becky wants revenge because of those little retirement speeches that Liv has been making about her. And we get to see Becky and Rhea work together, which I think seeing the top women, as far as Becky and Rhea on the Raw brand work together, that would really spark up Raw. And that it was my idea. So if you guys do that, be sure to write me my check. I'm a very good creator. But I think that would be fire. That Raw would be #1 popping through the roof. And then over in the SmackDown brand, you got Bianca and Bayley tag team champion helping each other out. And then Jade comes back, finds out who's attacked her. We got a storyline going on over there, but the title's safe in the meantime until that happens. Rhea and Becky helping each other out on Raw until Rhea gets her hands on Liv for the championship after winning the Royal Rumble. May we see her and Becky, who would help her out, even up the odds at WrestleMania against Raquel, and if Dominic's involved. So that way, they can take it to SummerSlam. That way, Rhea wins the Royal Rumble, a second one for her in her history and her career. I'm going with Mommy to win the Royal Rumble. Mommy at WrestleMania take her title back against Liv Morgan finally. Becky Lynch to return at the January Netflix, right, premiere for Raw and help out against not only the retirement speech and getting involved in her championship match, but even up the odds through Raw, through WrestleMania. And then we'd see maybe Becky Lynch beat Rhea Ripley finally, because she hasn't done that yet, like around SummerSlam time. Maybe we see something like that since that's something that Becky hasn't done yet, and whereas Rhea's won both times, so you can assume everybody will be doubting Becky, and this is when Becky is stronger. This is when Becky is better, when everyone doubts her, that nothing what anybody says or does can keep Becky down, right? That fire, that heart that I'm always talking about comes out, comes on top, proves everybody wrong. She proved everybody wrong when she became double champion against Charlotte and Ronda Rousey when everybody was doubting her at WrestleMania. She proved everyone wrong when she became the man then. Then everyone started seeing her. She proved everybody wrong when she became the face of the company after Charlotte and Sasha started to die down a little bit. She proved everyone becoming the man. Couple of double Bex champion, right? Bringing that fire desire. Came back after having a baby, took out the top star, took what she never lost, her Raw Women's Championship belt, and she even did a little heel turn and still got everyone's eyes to focus on her, still got that pop that everyone started overlooking, but now they started seeing her. Now they're hearing her, now they're seeing her, now they're feeling what she's putting down. She proved everyone wrong with one eye socket, right? She couldn't even see. I'm still out there fighting. Now she finally beat that barrier after 6 years. Nia Jax in the last woman standing match. She became double champ X where everyone can see her when she's been here building the NXT just like the other one, but just wasn't paying attention to her. And she came back, beat out the superstar, beat out the top star, was Bianca Belair. Took her out to say, hey, I still got my spot and I ain't lost the juice. So, everyone hating on Becky, everyone doubting Becky. She won the Women's Championship. She versed Rhea like she said at WrestleMania, like she said she was going to do. Doesn't matter if she didn't win, she still went and did it like she said she was going to do. And I think Rhea Ripley even saw that and wanted Becky to verse her. You can tell that she wanted her at that match, that she wanted to face her because she knows what Becky is capable of. She knows to be the best, you got to beat the best. And she has. Non-title and title match. Rhea's already proven that. This is Becky's time. I think that Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble, taking back her title at WrestleMania against Liv. What better than Becky to help her even up the odds? Plus, she can get some revenge of her own for the shenanigans they put her through before, the whole Rhea and Liv situation. And then we're back on a roll. We get to see Rhea and Becky work side by side on Raw. We get to see some Royal Rumble WrestleMania happening as far as winning the Royal on the title pack. And then in Becky's, as far as her, okay, I'm doing the equal amount of work, where's my credit? You get Rhea for the championship belt at SummerSlam. This is your chance. Not only you get a reward, but to get a title opportunity for the equal amount of work, but you also get to prove everyone wrong, including Rhea that might be doubting you, that you can actually beat Rhea and win the championship belt yourself. So I think that would be really cool. And then we see Bayley and Bianca as tag championship belt before we see that heel turn who attacked Jade. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be hot and SmackDown and Raw. We're going to have a competition here, Raw versus SmackDown. So, but until all of that, I'm just thinking of creative ideas through Raw. As Royal Rumble in Annapolis is coming up, I'm just thinking of SmackDown too. As WrestleMania will be hitting us in the face in Las Vegas. And next thing we know, we'll be in New Jersey, and it'll be towards the end of the year in SummerSlam time. And we'll have the man back. Plus, we got the premiere of Netflix down in January. After Survivor, right now we're looking for a Survivor Series. over in Canada, right? They were going to be looking at Raw and SmackDown, the best of them, in December, because then we'll be in January Netflix in Los Angeles with the premiere. And then, like I said, the man Becky Lynch, I think that she'll be back around that time. Then we're going to be looking at Indianapolis, February, with Royal Rumble's in his face. I'm going to go off and say I want Rhea to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Not sure about the men's one yet. Not sure about that one. How to build up that tag team, that strength between Becky and Rhea as a tag team through Raw until WrestleMania. Before we know, we'll be in WrestleMania in the springtime in Los Angeles or Las Vegas. And then we'll be in SummerSlam towards the end of the year, around this time again, except for it'll be in August. 2 days. Kirby's gonna be performing. They're gonna be facing each other. You got an obstacle. You gotta beat Rhea Ripley because you haven't done it. And Rhea Ripley, probably thinking in her head, she's already beaten me twice. So she's feeling more confidence. You gotta prove everybody wrong once again. Who you are, who was here first, and that's the man, Big Time Bex. So I think that's something that she'll have to do, and that it'll be fun to watch, and that's the point behind it when we watch that in New Jersey with the SummerSlam, and then it'll be around this time Survivor Series and Christmas with Raw and SmackDown again. So that's just some updates of Indianapolis Royal Rumble, WrestleMania Las Vegas, SummerSlam New Jersey. Biggest of all year and the biggest of all summer, and of course what starts the road to it. And of course the Raw and SmackDown with the series. Man coming back in Los Angeles on, I think that would be perfect timing for Becky Lynch, and I think we got a tag team. Like I said, send me my check because I just created your tag team and your Raws all the way, like I said, through WrestleMania, through SummerSlam, through it all. I just built up SmackDown, just the icing on the cake. SmackDown is blue, so make sure you get that icing on the cake. And then we'll also see who's retiring this year. A Hall of Famer. Well, he's not a Hall of Famer yet. Future Hall of Famer. Is a legendary. Is the GOAT. Is the best to do it. Is a 16-time champion. Is one of the greatest to get in the ring and do it. Someone who got me started watching it into wrestling. We will see him do his last run. Not only will we see him, he will be at the Royal Rumble. He will be at WrestleMania, as we know. Last Royal Rumble, last WrestleMania. We'll see the man, the one, the only, who's going to retire after this year run, official, that he's going to be there. We'll see the one and only John Cena. Tap out and does define. Tap out does not defy that the man, the GOAT, Cena, will be not only at the Royal Rumble, but also at WrestleMania. And you can probably imagine what kind of things we're looking for through Raw and SmackDown to see where he's going to be at when he's going to be there, to get a glimpse of him before, because this is his last year before he retires, as he made that official. With that being said, so all that being said, I think that clarifies the big major stuff, what I think and why I think that. As far as right now, we're looking at a few days at Survivor Series. I just wanted to give updates on the other pay-per-views. This past Raw and SmackDown, and the updated pay-per-views. You guys should check out my Crown Jewel pay-per-view. You guys should check out my Raw and SmackDown. You guys should check out my music videos, my album playlist, and some entertainment videos. Why I'm giving those updates to those pay-per-views, check out my Crown Jewel one before you check out the Survivor Series. Check out my Raw and SmackDown, I covered that as well. Predictions, content, result. And also check out my episodes and podcasts over the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and one. Plus, I also got some funny videos and scary videos if you want, and for a scare or funny or entertainment. And also, on top of that, I got some music videos I dropped. I got some rap battles and music videos and albums to listen to watch, to entertain yourself as well. So I just want to give an update on my account, the TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe, check it out, all that stuff. And of course, what this podcast is about, I want to give updates on the pay-per-views and why I think my opinion matters to all of that. and also just address some situations. And with all that being said, this has been Before and After Thoughts with Queen Krazy K. And speaking of updates and greatness, talk about the 10-1, proving all the haters and the doubters wrong in the NFL history. The number one who I think is going to win, not only 4, to make these 3, 1, 2, 3, into 4 Super Bowls, 3 in a row, prove all the haters and the doubters with the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, being 10-1, being the top in the NFL, winning that 4th Super Bowl and 3 in a row to prove everybody wrong who just won't give them that credit, who just won't give them that. And it doesn't matter if you give them the credit, if you like them, if you hate them, but you damn well got to respect the fact they've been unstoppable, despite what you think or say. I just want to prove that. I just want to say that and put that out there. Also, speaking of excitement, celebrations, exciting, let's talk about the Eras Tour over in Canada as well. Miss Taylor Swift, who is, by the way, number 2 on the Billboard most heard, listened artist, Taylor Swift, by the way. Whether you like it or not, the most listened artist in Billboard, the most listened artist is Taylor Swift, clearing out the best tour that she's had with the different songs. We're bringing the 18 years now, right? Bringing the old, the Reputation, the Now songs, the Poet album, which is number 1. 7 Grammys for that, by the way, because she's just that good. And now she's finishing her last tours as the second most listened greatest artist in history. So I'm already getting my 2025 lit up as we towards Christmas. This is the early Christmas present for me, the one and only, not only the Eras Tour book that you can get at Target, but I am enjoying this baby right here. Let's see what my year lands on in my month. Looks like I'm getting my year started early and getting it popping early for Christmas time to follow and guide me what day and years is. And it looks like I get Lover for my month for early birthday. And well, Merry Christmas to me of 2025, the best Eras Tour, Taylor Swift. Yeah, so that just happened. All of you Swifties out there like me, that is for us as Swifties. I just wanted to mention that. We're talking about celebrations. We're talking about Royal Rumble winners of Rhea, and talking about tag teams on Raw, and we got a lot of updates to wrestling. I just wanted to mention that. And, talking about my music videos, right? We're talking about my album playlist, my other music videos, my rap, and my performances. I just wanted to talk about music. Let the Eras Tour be involved if we're going to talk about good music here. And if we're going to talk about excitement, I just wanted to, because I'm wearing the hat, I just wanted to say that I meant to do this over the weekend, but it didn't happen that way with Thanksgiving. But we are set and ready for tomorrow, Thanksgiving, and we are set for Black Friday. My boys got to do it again. And I'll be posting my Friday Night SmackDown video, so I wanted to get a little ear out to check on my other videos first and some updates of what I think and why for those pay-per-views coming up. And, before the end of this year, you might want to join this as well with the, you got all of this, as you guys already know. Talk about new championships with the United States Championship belt for the women's division, or who I think should be it. And speaking of that, we also got a new Intercontinental Women's Championship belt as well. With that being said, I'm not sure who I want to win that. I know that Adam Pearce said we're going to have a tournament going on, that we got all those things, but I'm not exactly sure who I want to win that Intercontinental one yet, because the other one was already set for the United States. That tournament has already started, has already been identified before they made the other one, so I just think that with that going on, I'm not exactly sure who I want to win, who is going to be involved in it. Whereas the women's United States, we know who's involved. We know where it's at. Like Looks like the United States one is going to be on SmackDown. The Intercontinental Championship belt might be on Raw. So it looks like how they, even up the championship belts. So that's what it seems like it's at right now, where it seems like it's going as far as that goes. That's good hot chocolate. It's cold outside, but this hot chocolate tastes wonderful. But with that being said, though, just a little updates, a little bit of everything you need to know, wanting more, and just wanting to, I'm thinking both sides live here. And these are the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and 1 week episodes of the podcast. So be sure to check out my other podcasts if you want more like it. Sure to check out music videos, talk about music. Sure to check out my entertainment funny. Just bringing up the NFL updates, Raw and SmackDown that I put on there, and also be on lookout because I will be posting my SmackDown video on Black Friday as well. Yeah, we're at Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. Tell me about that when I post my SmackDown video, and you'll also see I updated my account as well when you see this podcast, and you'll also get my predictions, commentaries out of it as well. That I just like to put out there to involve you guys when I put a photo or a comment or something. Like, it's usually Instagram I put it on, but I just like to give updates on stuff just so you are aware of what's going on and stuff. So that's just something I like to do. So with all that being said, that's the end of this podcast. That's everything that we're going to talk about today. And Queen Kids Out. Peace.